Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to Birth of the Ultimate Being for a budget run. I'm going to be explaining the fight, etc. So we're going to be going to hard mode. The missions are no items, no KOs, no continues. You can take a friend unit, but we're not going to. Definitely take a friend to carry this if you can, but we don't need to. So, just for fun and to celebrate the fact that I got like 7 copies of Snovlinka during my Aya polls, we're going to go with an Earth party just for thematic reasons against this boss. Now, the boss is only weak to Earth or Fire. So build an Earth party or a Fire party when you're going in here. So just for fun, we're going to be taking this party. We're going to take Runda as our tank. We're going to take Roka as our support. You also want someone to perfect dispel the boss, and Roka can do that. Now, someone also needs to do 4-stack Mirage for the party, so we're going to take Maeve as a 4-stack Mirage source. Tulian is going to be our breaker, and then Snovlinka is going to be the damage dealer. And again, the party we use is very, very flexible. Use anything you want, kind of. So during the ambush, the boss is going to put up mitigations on himself, single target death on a target, and then AoE Dark in Peril, and then AoE Paralyze and Confusion. So our whole party is Paralyzed and Confused immune. Runda is passive provoking with death immunity. And Runda also has, with gear, I'll show you the gear at the end, but with gear, 250 Dark resist. So after the Imperil, he is still Dark immune. That's going to be the ambush of the boss. Now, on turn 1, oh my god, hold on, I always forget to mute Discord when I'm doing this. Okay, so on turn 1, the boss is going to do a 1 billion point HP barrier, a stat buff for himself. He's going to do a ton of AoE dark physical damage that can be covered, and Runda will immune it. And the boss is going to do single target death again, which Runda will immune. So basically a physical tank with 250 dark resist before imperils and death immunity. You're going to be fine on turn 1. So we're going to start setting up. So Tulian is going to do both of his cooldowns from his upgraded Vidar, and then we can use I Am the One True Hero. Maeve on this turn can give us immunity buff with effective strategy. Maeve can also fill the morale gauge with Hunting Call, and then we can just do Run Wild. Runda will physical cover. I mean, doesn't really matter what else you do. We can buff too, but it doesn't really matter. Roka will just summon Golem for the field on turn 1. And Snovlinka on this turn, honestly, not a lot to do. So we're going to be dealing some damage next turn. So she can just do her setup. So here comes the AoE physical on the boss, the barrier, the stat buff, etc. Runda is immune because of dark resist. Okay, so on turn 2, the boss is going to do 4 AoE non-elemental physicals that ignore cover. So to deal with that, we're going to use Maeve to 5-stack Mirage the party. All you need is 4 of those. So Wild Guard will be a Mirage stack. Then Maeve can fill the LB gauge, the morale gauge, with Wild Guard. So now we have Mirage for the boss's attacks. Let's see here. So Snovlinka is going to start getting set up. We're going to do Elemental Burst, 150 Amplify, and then both of her cooldowns to get her modifier buffs going. Roka will do Go Boomer to get rid of the boss's buffs. Then we're going to do Ramping Amp on Snovlinka so that on turn 4 she has the best damage. And then we can just do, it doesn't matter, Earth Infliction. So notice now the boss's stat buff, the barrier, etc. is all gone from Perfect Dispel. Runda can just do his LB here. And Tulian, on this turn, can do, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, you could do whatever you want. Boris Guard. Okay, so here comes the AoE physical. We're going to Mirage it, etc. And then, and the boss does gravity, by the way. At the end of the turn, the boss will reduce your HP to 1, which is fine. Now we're going to use Maeve to summon Lakshmi to heal the party back up. Now, we could use Tulian's SLB and Snovlinka's LB, and with their 150 Amplify, I already know from testing this would OTK the boss. The boss would just die here. But I'm going to kill it on turn 4, just in case your damage isn't quite as good. But if you're using an EX2 Snovlinka, Go ahead and LB this turn, chain it up. You'll either kill the boss or you won't. It doesn't really matter either way. But because I don't want to actually kill the boss, we'll just have Tulian just, you know, do BS. And we'll do Snovlinka's LB. We're going to intentionally not chain it. So there we go. So that plus Tulian, etc. would have been a kill. Runda on this turn can just do his LB. So the boss on this turn is going to do the barrier yet again. Stat buff again, etc. The boss is also going to dispel everybody. And then the boss will do the paralyze and all that again. We can just do the SLB of Roka this turn. So we're going to kill next turn, but again, we could have killed that turn, but I wanted to kind of show you a turn 4 clear. So here we go with Dispel on everyone and buffing herself. Okay, so this turn, Roka automatically amplifies our Snovlinka. Snovlinka now has a 100% Earth amp. So Roka will now just go ahead and perfect dispel the boss again. We'll Earth Infliction, and it doesn't really matter what else. Haste, who cares? Okay, for a stat buff, oh, by the way, this turn, all the boss is going to do is a single target death and nothing else. So as long as your Provoker is immune, you're fine. Maeve will give us a stat buff again. We'll go ahead and Hunting Call. We will do an immunity buff, and we'll do a stat buff with Run Wild. And Runda, we got the spells. We can go ahead and just cover again. And then, you know, Protect, Shell, doesn't matter. Again, there's no damage this turn. Now, remember, the boss did cure the breaks. These are preemptive breaks. They can't be dispelled. But the good breaks are cured, as you see. I'm sorry, never mind. I forgot that Tulian auto-cast his 89 break on turn 4, which is awesome. But we're still going to do his LB and stuff like that. Now, if we don't kill the boss, we'll keep going. It's not a problem. But we're probably going to kill the boss here. Yeah, the boss is dead, so there it is. So, you know, bursting on turn 3 and on turn 4 would have been fine. And if the boss didn't die on turn 4, go again on turn 5. The rotation repeats starting on turn 5. So turn 5 will be the same thing as turn 1. Then it just repeats a 4-turn repeating rotation. So, you know, but turn 4, all the boss does is single target death, which our Runda is immune to thanks to backup unit. That's death immunity. Other than that, he's passive provoke, paralyze and confusion immune, and 250 dark resist. Nothing else really matters, honestly. There you go. Roka, honestly, irrelevant. Just status immunity, some Esper fills that we can get the LB gauge, mana reduction. That's just for convenience's sake. So status immunity and Esper fill. That's all that really matters. Maeve, status immunity, mana reduction. She's literally here only because she does a 5-stack Mirage, and she's an Earth element unit. So just for, you know, fun, we're doing an Earth party because Snovlinka. Tulian, LB damage versus humans, and by the way, the boss is a human and demon, using +1 Vidar. Now, we geared really well, because I'm trying to show off a little bit, but still. So, maxed LB, max human, max demon killer. And then Snovlinka is EX2 for me. And again, you can take any leader you want. Flaring Rain will decimate this boss. You know, if you saw my stream, I turned 1-killed this with Richt. You know, use whatever you want, really. But there's the gear we used. You know, we definitely geared a little well, just for the fun of it. Maxed LB, maxed Demon, and maxed Human. And there was our clear on the Ultimate Bean. We just abused a baby. Feels bad, man. But there it is. And again, definitely burst on turn 3. You know, I intentionally didn't chain on turn 3 because I didn't want to kill the boss and I wanted to show you all the way to turn 4. But there it is. And then, hey, Tulian actually did a little bit. So the boss has, let me look at the chart. Boss has 9 billion HP. So Snovlinka by herself OTK'd it from 100% on turn 4. But, you know, Tulian did a little bit. And there it is. There's the budget run. I mean, it's budget run, but it was good gear. But I didn't take a friend. And I took Snovlinka, which is basically a handicap all by itself. Anyway, there it is. See you in a bit.